Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
All right.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? Welcome to Trekcast, the galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
That's right.
Today we've got myself, Scott, Strong Beer Bouters, and in the other corner we've got Daniel Reyes.
The other corner, we fighting? What's going on?
I guess so. I wouldn't want to fight you.
No, I know. And it would be impossible from this distance.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are missing Dan.
Yes.
And he just had another obligation. So
that's right. Yeah.
He is not in my basement.
Allegedly.
Well, no, not allegedly. I'm flat out saying he's not in my basement. Allegedly, Chad is not in my basement.
That's right.
So
yeah. So I would say he'd be back next week, but programming note, we will not be back next week.
No, we won't be here.
Yeah. we're taking next week off. Just to let you guys know from the very top, I have to go to a family trip, and it's going to be basically impossible for me to do the show. And then Scott, you're going to the comic convention, right?
Yes. So another programming note, the show would be absolutely impossible to do without Daniel. So if he, decided to, move to Antarctica, there'd be no Trekcast. So
yeah.
He's literally the heart and soul of the show. And yes, I am going to the Grand Rapids Comic-Con next weekend. I will be there all day Saturday and most of the day Sunday. So I've got my press passes.
Nice.
Well, they emailed me and said they're
right.
picked up.
Yeah.
So very much
what are you
looking forward to that.
over there?
It's really about the panels.
Nice.
I love going to the panels, and there's a lot of Star Trek going on there. Even though Armin Shimmerman's not going to be there like he originally was going to be, Andrew Robinson is not going to be there. In fact, Andrew Robinson, his agent put out a thing that he's pretty much retired from the smaller Comic-Cons. So he's only going to be doing San Diego and I think maybe one in New York. But Denise Crosby's going to be there,
right?
And Pavel Chekhov himself is going to be there. So we're looking forward to it.
Nice.
They're both doing panels too.
So
Denise Crosby and wow, I just had a blank. Who played Chekhov?
Oh, Walter.
Yeah, Walter Koenig. Yep. Yep. So normally, in my experience, when the more famous celebrities show up, like Walter Koenig, George Takei was at the last Grand Rapids Comic-Con.
Oh, wow.
And he was just there to do autographs. There was no panel, but there's a panel scheduled for both Walter Koenig and Denise Crosby. So I'm going to go to both of those. I'm going to record both of those. We'll put those up on the Facebook group and on the YouTube channel. So that's really the most entertaining thing. The rest is just a giant comic book flea market, which is great. And there's going to be a lot of people there, like the West Michigan people from the West Michigan chapters of Starfleet, Ghostbusters. I'm really excited for one particular exhibit. They usually have a lot of people bring their cars. So like, the car from Supernatural or the car from, the Vin Diesel movies and stuff like that.
Right. That's not Furious.
Jurassic Park, they have the Jeep from Jurassic Park. This year, there had the 1982 DMC DeLorean from Back to the Future is going to be there.
Oh,
and
nice.
I could not be more excited. I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. So
yeah.
Yep. Looking forward to that. So if anybody that can hear the sound of my voice, is going to be anywhere near the Southwest Michigan area, and check out GrandRapidsComicCon.com for tickets. It's really a big deal. It's not quite as big as the one in Chicago,
right?
but it's a pretty big deal.
Oh wow, that's cool. That's cool.
So
Yeah,
check it out. And if you are going to be there, send me a Facebook message. We'll link up.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm going to be in Southern California. We are celebrating my dad's 70th birthday, and
nice.
and even though he lives here, like he lives 10 minutes from me, we're flying down to California so he can be with his brothers and sisters to celebrate the big milestone. So,
well, happy birthday to Papa Reyes.
yeah, so it should be fun. I'm excited to get Mexican food because you don't really get it up here in North Idaho. So.
Okay, good. That's awesome.
Chazbis says good morning. Yes, hello.
Good morning, Chazbiz. How are you?
Yeah. And so we're pretty stoked about that.
Good deal.
We should probably get to the news then.
Okie dokie.
Star Trek news.
All right, so we're gonna start with the bit of sad news first. This came out pretty late this week, and we're just hearing about it. But according to Yahoo News, Tony Todd, aka Kern, has passed away. He was 69 years old. He was also known as, probably more famously known as Candyman, the Candyman.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw that.
When I mentioned the name Tony Todd to my wife, she didn't know the name, and when I said Kern, she was like, when I said Candyman, she's like, oh yeah. She's a big horror film fan, so
yeah, me too. So Candyman was a great film. He appeared in over 240 films and TV shows. He died.
Oh wow!
6. Yeah, so he's got quite the career. A lot of voiceover work too. He had a very unique voice.
Yes.
So a lot of voiceover work. But he really loved Star Trek. He loved being part of the community. I believe he did go to a few conventions from time to time when he could.
Okay. Well, he probably, was, had a following from both Star Trek and horror, so I would imagine. He had a big draw.
Yeah. There's even our show title this week. It's called the pain is most exquisite or something like that. That's a line from Candyman.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it's that. Also fits with what happened on the show, so that's why I named the show that. Yeah. But he said Star Trek in an interview. He said Star Trek was the first show that gave him access to the fan world, and he's very grateful to them for that. Yeah. He did the Klingon makeup and prosthetics, so he was all in. Came back several times. Also known as Old Jake.
Yes.
In a very tear-jerking episode. So
which was like the inner light of Deep Space Nine. It was called The Visitor.
Yeah,
that was a very good episode. It's the first episode. In fact, it's the first thing I thought of when I heard he passed. Most people know him as Kern. Some people remember him as a Herosian, the Herosian Alpha on Voyager.
Yes, yeah.
But playing the older Jake Sisko, that episode. The Visitor from Deep Space Nine, when Captain Sisko supposedly dies and then comes back like a half a dozen times throughout Jake's life. That was a really good episode.
Yeah, it was a very good episode. So unfortunately, Tony Todd has passed away. So wanted to share that. Now also making a kind of hard pivot to other stuff, but we did get some interesting news this week that came out, and we're learning more about Jeri Ryan. Apparently was pitched a 7 of 9 show. This is coming to us from trekmovie.com, and she says that they had pitched her a 7 of 9 show, not Legacy. So it would not be Legacy at all. It would be just 7 of 9. What's his name? John DeArco, he played Hugh. He said it would be a little bit more Borg focused show because they love the Borg in the new Trek.
Well, it's like I said. Well, season 1 of Picard was about the Borg, but season 2 was about the Borg, and then season 3 was about the Borg.
Now we're gonna make a Borg show. Yeah.
And I love the Borg. I mean, I would have watched the heck out of this.
I love hamburgers, but I don't want hamburgers every day.
Right.
Yeah. So she politely turned them down. She says, she knows the fans want legacy, and that's what she wants to do. Raffi herself, Michelle Hurd, also went on to say, yeah, we want legacy. Let's do legacy. So apparently everyone knows about this. So
I'm just confused. I mean, I mean, we're beating a dead horse here. I understand, but
I know.
why don't they get this? I
Yeah.
mean, does somebody need to kidnap Jonathan Frakes and just hold him hostage until they make this?
If only there was a basement in Michigan that we could put him in for a while.
Yeah, that's right. Oh God.
So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get legacy. I did see in our own Facebook group there was the conspiracy theory that maybe they're waiting for Terry Metalis to finish the Vision show for Marvel, that then he could come back and do legacy after that. At that point, it's going to be a few years, so I don't know if that's really a thing, because they haven't started Vision yet. They're just in pre-production of it. They got to shoot it, edit it, get it out there.
Right. I mean, you can be involved in two things at once. And Terry Metalis is great for Star Trek. He's not the only player in this game.
Right. A lot of people want him on board because of how much they love Picard season 3. So I get wanting him to helm this ship, right?
Sure.
But you're right. You can find other people to run the show.
Get the writers
the writers, that you can get a different showrunner, but he, could be the overall producer that kind of oversees it. So at least he would, he can still do that while doing Vision. That's not really a thing,
And there's some talent out there. There's some Star Trek actor talent out there. B'Elanna, Tom Paris, Will Riker, all those actors are accomplished directors and writers and storytellers and showrunners. So
LeVar Burton was produced.
Yep, absolutely.
I think he would be fantastic for this. So, I mean,
so let's get a dream team together, and they've got a chance. I almost said Paramount has a chance, but who the hell knows who's going to be actually owning this stuff in a year?
Right.
But they've got a chance. They could put together a dream team, and it's something that they could. I mean, it was birthed with Discovery, this new age of Star Trek. And because we're so lucky to have this new age of Star Trek, is from the early 2000s until 2017 we didn't have anything, and now we've got this resurgence of interest. Why can't they just see what they've got going? I mean, there's got to be a ton of money that can.
Why can't we have nice things?
Yeah, why can't we have nice things?
Yeah,
everybody wants legacy. Everybody's talking about legacy, and it's not just
it's not just us. Like if you go and look at any Paramount posting of like Academy or the Section 31, it's just filled with give us legacy.
Yeah, so Jeri Ryan said, "I want to do legacy."
Yeah, it comes up at all the conventions. Like that's what people want. So I don't know.
Right? Man. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll hear something at the Comic-Con.
Yeah, maybe you'll get some sort of exclusive.
Sure.
Why not? Yeah. Yeah, and then we're also learning a little bit more about Section 31, the show. This is coming out from there was a panel during the New York Comic Con, and they're just now kind of writing about it. So we're learning a little bit more about it. And basically what we have learned is that the story of Section 31, the movie, is going to focus around Georgiou and some of her past acts and needing to rectify those acts. So
okay, so that
like this is your life kind of thing.
Yeah, but that also implies if she has to rectify those acts, this is going to take place in the mirror universe. Unless they're talking about crap she did since she got to the Prime universe.
Right, and they weren't clear on any distinction of that way. So we don't really know.
Either way, it's set Discovery timeline, so
yeah,
nobody cares.
Right. Some of the characters she will have past relationships with of some sort, so they're not going to be all just new to her, but they'll be new to us as the audience, and then so I don't know, man.
I'm gonna watch it. That's
Yeah,
all
we
I can
have to
say.
for the show. Yeah.
We're gonna watch it.
We're gonna watch it, and hopefully, I'm hoping it's good. I'll say that. I
Yeah,
want it to be good, but I am holding my breath.
very much so.
Yes, and then our last news story, I kind of just added in this last minute, but I will put it in the show notes for those of you who might be interested in this. But according to military.com, Paramount just doubled its military discount for Veterans Day.
Woohoo!
Yeah. So, they were offering 25% off a Paramount Plus subscription to military members, and they are now offering a 50% off military or subscription.
Oh wow!
As long as you apply by November 11th. So, being that it's the 10th today, you got to act quick.
I will share that on some of my military Facebook groups.
Yeah. So the way it works is if you are a new member, you go to your sheer ID page. I'm not sure what that is. I imagine you would know, Scott.
Yeah, like I'm not familiar with Sheer ID, but there's a bunch of different companies that do verifications to prove to, like, if you're going to do this, you can go to a website to prove that you're a veteran.
Right, because you need a card, right? That they give you. Yeah.
Right.
So apparently you go to a sheer ID page, and I'll have this links in the show notes to this article, and they have all the links in the article, and you just apply for it, and then you get your 50% off discount. If you're a current Paramount Plus subscriber, you have to cancel your current subscription and then go to your sheer ID page and start a new one, and then you'll get your 50% off. So
groovy. That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I thought, people would like to know that, save some money. So
happy Veterans Day, everyone.
Yeah, happy Veterans Day. I did not realize it was coming because I'm bad with holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is our news stories. We should get to our main topic.
Let's do it.
Fun will now commence.
And our main topic tonight is Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 5, is Episode 4, if I remember correctly.
Right? Yes.
Yeah. A Fell Wall to Farms was the name of the episode.
Yes.
I did say my quick reaction that it was a fell wall to arms. No, it's farms. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did you say arms?
I did say arms.
Okay.
I did say arms. Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah. But yeah, so it was a fun episode. Trying to pull up the little slides right now, but it is fighting me.
Yeah.
Do you want to kind of recap the episode?
Yeah, the tag is Dr. Miglimo. Is that his name? Miglimo?
I can't remember his name.
Okay, the bird psychiatrist
Right.
cooks up some hot dishes, and Mariner prefers hers served cold. So basically, there are three diplomats from Dr. Miglimo's homeworld, three feathered people that come on board, and everybody, apparently his entire planet is like food based. Like that's why they developed warp drive, is so they could seek out new dishes.
Right.
And so
it's
all about it's all about the food for them.
Right.
So they come on board, and some chaos ensues, and then the C story, or the A story, is Mariner goes to visit Maha, which is the Klingon that she met in last season's episode 9, The Inner Fight.
Right.
So she goes to visit him, and he has lost the captaincy of his ship, and Mariner is there on a separate Starfleet mission and decides to help him. So
yeah. So you had a couple different things going on.
it was I really liked the episode. I thought it was great. I thought it had some own, like, the jokes are usually callback based. But I thought the jokes in this were not only there were some callback based jokes, but they were Lower Decks has gone on so long now that they're calling back to their own episodes, which I think says something about their longevity. But I thought some of the joke, my favorite joke in the whole thing was when Mariner met Mahog's girlfriend, and she like, what are you doing fraternizing with this human? She walks off, and Mariner goes, "What crawled up her boob window?"
Yeah.
My God, I almost spit. That was great.
You know who that was too, who was voicing the girlfriend?
No.
Mary, I'm always gonna mispronounce her last name, like Chefu or something like that. She was the lady Klingon in Discovery in the first season.
Yeah.
So that was her.
Lara.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's cool. They brought her back to be a Klingon again.
Yeah.
There she is. There's with aforementioned boob window.
Yeah, the boob window.
Yeah.
I love Klingon clothing. It's great.
A Wolf does ask, was this the first episode to not have a regular opening? Yeah. I feel like they've done other cold open episodes before.
Yes, I read on the internet there was another episode that did, but I really, I noticed that it was a different cold open.
Yeah,
and I really liked it. I liked it.
Me too.
Sometimes a cold open can be a little bit harsh, especially if it's a sort of a zany cold open. If if the background is sort of somber, and this I thought it really fit the flow of the episode, and so I'm glad they made that choice.
I liked Boimler's little weird mustache that he's got going, trying to grow out a beard.
He's so desperately trying to grow facial hair.
Yeah, and it's not working, buddy.
You'd think in the 24th century they'd have some sort of just for men type of follicle growth enhancement sort of device.
Well, I feel like this has been answered by Gene Roddenberry, because they were looking at originally getting a wig for Picard.
Oh yeah.
And famously the response was no. In the 24th century, it just won't matter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Doesn't matter that
doesn't matter how many little fur hairs he has on his little face.
So that was the doctor. I have the slide up of him right now, and this guy always cracks me up. So I'm glad that we had an episode with him.
Yeah, and the captain was about to come unglued. She's like, "You better take over because I'm about to say something stupid."
Yeah. I'm about to make a diplomatic crisis here.
Because those diplomat, they so reminded me of Betazoid ambassadors. Yeah.
Just really tough to deal with.
Right.
And then apparently, they had lost their sense of taste.
Yeah, that was the whole point why they were being such jerks, is because they're food critics. Right. And I guess food critics are they're the ambassadors, they're the highfalutin of their society, and they had lost their taste, and they were trying they're trying to cover that fact up by just saying everything they taste is disgusting, and the Cerritos crew sort of kind of figures that out, and at the end they serve them a dish that's made out of manure, and they're like, yeah, we can't. This is we can't taste anything, or this is delicious, or what? Oh, they're back on their home world, and they're finally being served some quote unquote good food, and they eat it, and they're like, oh, this is delicious, and they're like, ha, we got you because it's actually manure.
Can't believe that's how they get them. That's
I mean, that's kind of gross, but yeah. And then how did the A story end?
So they had to go to their local Klingon council,
right?
And they had to go through some sort of pain trial.
Yep, we got to see the pain sticks again.
Yeah, we got to see the pain sticks.
That was great. And the thing I loved the most about the scene when they're going through the pain sticks is if you freeze frame and look at the faces of everyone, especially Mariner, as they're getting shocked. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love it.
Shock. Yeah. We got Boimler getting shocked at least.
Yeah.
Still image that Paramount released.
It's great.
It was great. And then they used their Starfleet know-how of if we all jump on each other, we can spread the voltage between us all.
Right. I'm not an electrical engineer. I'll have to look this up, but each one of those paint sticks at its highest setting, which is really meant to kill you, is 30,000 volts. And Boimler says, well, if we all get on the back of what's his face's brother, it'll spread out the volts evenly and we won't die. Right. So I guess the next time you're being stuck with 30,000 volts, jump on them, you know.
My gut is that's not accurate. So.
I don't know. Are there any electricians or electrical engineers in the audience
that would know? Yeah, that's just not going to work. I feel like if you have rubber shoes, that helps because it helps.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but
who knows?
Yeah, but you have to stand still because like the minute you lift your foot to walk, you're interrupting that circuit. So yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Boimler and his new obsession with like Klingon culture. Like, he was not acting really Boimler-y in this episode because he was like really digging all the violence, and at one point he got thrown across the bar and he's like, I just got thrown by a Klingon, and he's getting his butt kicked. But he's loving every minute of it. My favorite part was towards the end where they have to capture that ginormous targ. And Boimler just like, I got this, and they're like, no, and he just jumps on the targ, doesn't move it at all, and he just turns around and goes, yay. I thought that was a great moment.
Yeah. And it was because something along the last episode, he had been in such danger. Now he's learning to love it, or he felt like he was tougher than he thought he was. So that's why he was more embracing.
So he's enjoying this.
Yeah, which is cool. That's a good character development for him, and I hope they continue it throughout the season.
So I guess it's a major character development from an episode that was last week that I completely forgot about.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to these shows. Obviously.
Right. I thought it was cool too that so the whole deal was that the Klingon captain was kicked out of the military and was no longer a captain. And so he was running his farm, but at the end of this, he's given a commission and becomes a captain again, and ultimately decides to have his own ship with him and his brother and the giant targ.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and it's like a small ship, right? It's like basically
it's like a shuttlecraft. Yeah. Big shuttlecraft.
Yeah. So it's just the two of them and the targ. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, happy ending. Now the Klingons from the council. What did I read? That brings up a funny point too. Like, I always check out the IMDb of these episodes. A couple days after they air, because the way that IMDb gets their trivia from is they're all user submitted, and I've submitted some trivia that have been accepted on a few things. Almost all the trivia for this episode. It's all translations of all the Klingon words.
Oh, wow.
Like, this means that, and that means this. It's all almost none of it is like what actually happened in the episode. But in season 1, episode 2, Envoy, Boimler is assigned to escort a Klingon envoy. Mariner joins him, and chaos ensues. Korin is the Klingon envoy they escort.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Korin is the. Let me look up the.
I mean, Korn was one of my favorite '90s bands, but
that was one of the Klingons in the episode.
Right.
So it calls back to. Korin was the Klingon in this episode that was the son of the council.
Okay.
That's that. So it's a callback to a season 1 episode.
Okay. That I didn't realize.
Yeah, because Mariner's like, "Hey, what's up?" But we haven't seen each other in a while, and so they're starting to call back their own episodes, which I think
their
is
own history.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then we didn't really get a lot of Tindy or Rutherford, really. I mean, they were there.
T-Lin wasn't even in this episode.
Yeah, that's true. I guess
I like me some T-Lin.
Yeah. I really thought with that cold open, I
So-
thought, oh man, they're gonna do just a completely different episode in the final season. But
Right.
you know, yeah.
Who was Legnog in this episode? Do you know?
I don't know.
Legnog, Legnon. And the only reason why I ask is because I was looking up the cast list, and there's a Legnog played by Sam Witwer. And Sam Witwer, if we remember, he does the voice of Darth Maul.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that Sam Witwer.
Okay.
He was also in Smallville. He's
Yeah.
the live. He does a voice in live action of the that Star Wars video game.
Oh yeah. The Apprentice or something like that.
It's something like I own it, and boy, I'm having a hard time recalling
Yeah.
things this morning. Coffee.
I'm not a big video game guy, so I don't know all the.
Kicked in yet. Force Unleashed.
Okay.
So yeah, he's kind of big in the sci-fi nerd world.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like you like the episode though.
I did.
Yeah,
I
me
thought
too.
it was good. I liked all the jokes. I thought it was to me, this was the funniest episode all season.
Mm-hmm. So I put in our Facebook group if people, people's reaction to the episode. James said, excellent, through and through. Love the last cold open episode centered on Peanut Hamper, and this one makes me even more upset that there won't be any more Lower Decks, at least not for a while. Hoping it gets picked up like Prodigy did on Netflix or somewhere else. So
yeah, I wouldn't count on it. And,
yeah, that's kind of my thoughts.
and there's the reason I don't think it's going to happen is because this canceling seems deliberate.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like the ratings just fell off and they run out of ideas. I think it's more of we've done 5 seasons. This is what we're planning. And maybe they got something more in store for us next year or the year after. So,
see, I feel like it's like, well, we've done 5 seasons. We'd have to re-up their contracts quite a bit. We don't want to make the show cost way much, so much more to keep going. So
yeah, and that could be too. But I think this is a different situation than Prodigy.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people watch Prodigy. Enough did that they wanted, finish the second season. Right. And I'm still in the middle of that watch. So
okay. Yeah. No, I gave up. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of 100 things that I quote unquote need to watch. So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awolf says, yeah, not Netflix since they're not doing season 3 of Prodigy. Yeah, that's true. That did come out that they're not going to do a season 3. So, but yeah, we got another episode next week. And so I guess when we come back, not next week, but the week after, we'll review 2 episodes. So
yeah. And we'll do that's going to be a big show because I'll be back from Comic-Con and
yeah. And Dan will be back. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's the episode.
Absolutely. I have a suggestion.
What's that?
I don't know if we want to do that after the.
Oh, we just got a chat that says a pretty great thing. I think they're allergic to this time period. Give me Lower Decks and Legacy any day.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
so,
I hear you.
Yeah. Anyways, I have a recommendation.
Sure.
So I'm. I started getting into audiobooks a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And I started listening to the Picard prequels.
Oh, okay.
And I accidentally listened to book 2 of, I think it's book 2 of 5, called The Dark Veil, and then I just started listening to book 1. So there's a series of Star Trek Picard books. There's The Last Best Hope, that's the first one. The Dark Veil, Rogue Elements, Second Self, and Firewall. And book 1 basically takes place at the beginning when the Romulans find out that their son is going to go Nova, and it's all about Picard forming a task force to do something about it, and it's the genesis of the synths, and I'm about halfway through that one right now. I already read or already listened to The Dark Veil, which takes place several years later. So, but it gets more into the Dark Veil gets more into the Romulans' distaste for synthetic life forms.
Right.
So, as I finish each book, I'm gonna finish the last Best Hope, and then I'll do a review of it.
Okay, great.
So
Great.
I'm gonna listen to all 5, and so far it's really good. Like I said, I'm about halfway through the first book.
Yeah.
It's well written, good storyline. So I look forward to finishing it.
Nice. Well, let's get to listener feedback.
Listener feedback.
All right, so we got Chazbiz waiting. So let me pull him in. And Chazbiz is in the dark, looking like
Pull
he's
in Chazbiz.
That's right. That's right.
With a tractor beam.
Yeah.
All
going
stand
on,
there
man?
like Spock.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a tractor beam. That's the beaming up. So I guess you're
Right.
sucking me in. So
What'd you think of the episode?
I love the cold open. I thought
Did
that
you?
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the music to it, and I was like, oh, it's kind of like a movie and everything, the way it starts. And then the episode itself, and I like, it was all right. Some parts.
Yeah. What was your favorite part?
I like the pain sticks
Okay.
because that always cracks me up. Just this whole ceremony of getting shocked to the end. So
Yeah.
it's kind of stupid. But
What was something you were not that enthusiastic about?
I don't know. I'd say the B storyline, maybe. I thought the bird snobs.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
birds aren't real, so
True. That's true.
I don't know who those things were. So
It's
some
the
alien
birdaganda, the propaganda of the birds.
Yes.
I want to see them attempt to do those kind of characters in live action.
Oh my gosh.
They just
how much
CGI them.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure. And it probably wouldn't be for the whole episode. Like I could understand if they just did like a cameo.
Yeah.
You know?
They had to go to Hobby Lobby and get a bunch of feathers. And
I would want them to do it. I want them to do it in that really bad Enterprise CGI.
Oh
It
no.
would not look. Yeah.
oh man.
I like the
It looked
gore.
like a PlayStation 1 graphics. Yeah.
Right.
Great.
That doesn't look all right, So, but
Oh, Awolf is
Yeah,
asking, Scott, is that a featured Trek shirt of the week that you're wearing?
Yes, it is. Starfleet Academy.
Nice.
You like
Yeah,
that?
he's getting ready for the show.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
even though you don't like Paul Giamatti, which is weird.
that's right.
I don't
Do you
like Paul
watch any of his
Giamatti.
other movies, or just sideways? Just
No,
Made you
just,
come out.
I've seen Spider-Man 2.
But you're a big fan of
but
She-Hulk.
that's a horrible movie of his.
I've seen Spider-Man 2. Hey, Spider-Man 2 was a good film.
Yeah, it was fun.
I like I like She-Hulk. Why?
Yeah, she's gonna be in it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. And now I'm excited about that. I like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And I liked her in She-Hulk. So yeah,
I liked her
I'm
in
looking
her.
forward to
She had a show before that called Orphan Black. I don't know
Yeah,
if you ever seen that.
that was
That's
probably
a
her most
great
popular
show.
no.
Yeah, Orphan Black is a great show.
I don't think that show made it out of Idaho.
No, it's so okay. Interesting premise,
No,
right?
it was popular.
So the first episode, this girl, she's on a train platform, and she sees this other girl from across the way, and she's like, that other girl kind of looks like me. And then through a series of events, the other girl gets killed, and then she goes and she looks at the person, and it's her. It's a clone of her. And
Really?
so yeah. And so it's like this big mystery of why is there a clone of her? And
That does sound interesting.
yeah, and it gets really, really interesting because later in the season there's more clones that pop up. Yeah.
What's it called?
Orphan Black. Awolf. Oh my God! Spoilers, Daniel. This is the first episode. I'm not spoiling the rest of the season.
I love that.
Yeah,
Before, was it? Is it a 10, 15
yeah,
year old
and
show now?
she plays all the clones,
Yeah.
and it shows how great of an actress she is because
Okay.
they're all very, very different.
Different
She's easy on the
personalities.
eyes too, so
Yeah. Orphan Black's a really interesting show. So
I'll check it
Just
out.
don't tell your wife that. So
That she's easy on the eyes.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not oogling over. I'm not. Oh, she's so hot.
Oh yeah.
hope she has a boob window. Woo.
Yeah.
Where's my Dune popcorn bucket?
Right. Yeah. Oh God. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no. Dad, we need you back.
Yeah.
We need you back. Have
Right.
you guys
right
bought
in.
any new popcorn buckets or any of the new movie ones?
I don't buy the popcorn buckets. That's not a thing for me.
Yeah,
Um,
the Dune one was because it was too
The joke, yeah.
well, it was just too crazy. It was just like,
Yeah.
plus I'm a big Dune fan, so I had to.
Now, if we get a Paddington popcorn bucket, I'm
Well,
happy.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's in
The
January.
next popcorn bucket I might get is the Superman movie.
Oh yeah,
So if
that'll be
Superman,
interesting what they do with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I-
Oh, it could be a red boot.
Maybe
Yeah.
just like a giant
boots.
or
Yep.
what's
It'll
his name?
probably
Crypto
just
the
be his
dog?
ass. It'll probably just be his chest piece.
Oh, yeah.
You want it to be Superman's ass?
No, not the
Oh.
S. It's ass.
Oh. That's
no.
like the old Bill Cosby joke, where he says, got Clark Kent, mild mannered reporter. He goes into the phone booth and starts to change his clothes, and quickly a cop comes up, and he's like, "Can't you see I'm changing my clothes? I'm Superman." He's like, "Didn't you see the red S on my chest?" He's like, cop goes, "Yes, I'll give you a red S and a black nose if you don't get out of this phone booth."
Hey, well, oh my, yeah.
Bad joke, and also it's probably not great to quote Bill Cosby jokes anymore.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Ow.
Not anymore.
Funny comedian did a horrible thing. So,
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like, fun, Dick
Allegedly.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
convicted of at least.
Grayson- yeah, he went to prison. Somehow got out.
Yeah.
But
Somehow.
yeah,
Just like Palpatine, somehow he returned.
yeah.
Let's keep our voices down about people getting out of prison. I don't want certain people getting their
Inspirations. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? He won this week, so shut up.
right.
Anything else you want to bring up, Chazbiz?
Well, I'm just hoping the rest of the season picks up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the finale. I want the villain this season.
I think this is the first episode where we did not have any of the space riffs that we had been talking about. The
Right.
Space, yeah.
Right. Because Mariner mentioned it. She's like,
we're checking out these things. Yeah.
Right.
Do you think the Chosen, if they're going to do space riffs, do you think they're going to go to the real world, like Mariner or somebody, into a TV show? Maybe.
I think
Like one of those characters could.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I really do think it's going to lead us to that big space battle in the
Yeah.
show open. I think that's where we're ending.
I mean, I could see Mariner going. The boys is wrapping up, so Jack
Yeah.
Quaid could, because
Jack Quaid is getting to be such a big deal now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he needs the time in his schedule to do other stuff
Yeah.
Is the next season of The Boys the last one?
Yes.
of the regular show, but they're still going to do spin-off shows. Like they're going to
Well,
do
they got Gen V and all
and
that.
then they're working on The Boys Mexico.
Boys Mexico. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Jack Quaid is, I know he's the voice of Superman in that My Adventures with Superman show.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's in just a ton of movies coming up. So I'm really surprised Marvel hasn't picked him up for something yet.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Or DC. He can
Yeah.
join James Gunn now.
I feel like he would make a great Booster Gold.
I was gonna say like if they were gonna do like an older timeline, a Superman in his 40s, he would make a good Jimmy Olsen.
I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say that.
that's
I would say Jimmy Olsen because he's
Yeah.
more that kind of nerdy type.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny because his dad's buff, and you
Yeah.
think he's completely opposite than his dad, than Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But they're different types of actors too. Like he's more
Oh,
comedic
yeah.
than his dad was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So All right. Anything else you want to bring up, Chazbiz? Did he freeze on us? Oh, he froze on us.
He's frozen.
Oh no.
Did I
Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you froze for a bit. I was just asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was asking if there's anything else you wanted to bring up, and you were just silent.
Yeah. Well, I just saw all the screens just start circling, and I'm like, okay,
Oh wow.
going into
We'll take your silence as a confirmation.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
He pulled a Dan.
Right?
Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how I pulled it in. I don't have any internet on. I have full speed.
Yeah.
So
Maybe the dogs are playing video games.
this is the first time they haven't barked.
Yeah.
So
That's
kinda
what I mean.
Yeah, you might want to go check on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That usually means they're up to no good.
Yes. It means
If
they're
it's that quiet for that long, they're up to no good.
like, guess
We're going to
what?
need we need proof of life of the dogs on our Facebook
That's
yeah.
right.
page.
That's right. Yeah.
So
we
take
caught a
a
squirrel
picture.
and we brought it in the house and put it on your bed. So.
Oh God. Oh God.
They did
All
that
right.
one year. They brought a bird in there, and I
Oh
was like,
jeez.
what is this?
Well, they were protecting you from the mechanical birds.
Yes.
Were the birds food critics?
They were that bad that they became food.
Oh, wow.
That they ate manure. And,
Yeah.
and didn't realize it instead
The
of
birds were punished.
Yes. And then they
Uh.
turned to fat birds. I didn't understand that part. Like they were.
Yeah,
Oh,
what was that? Were they poofed out?
Yeah, my thought was that they had eaten so much junk food they lost their taste of food.
They
Okay.
had so much sodium that they bloated at the end.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought.
So,
think
Oh,
that's
that
what they
reminded me
were
of
doing.
another one-liner that was in the beginning part of the episode where the critic hauls off and slaps the doctor, and
Yeah.
and the captain's like, "Don't do that," and he's like, "Yes, I deserve that flapping."
Yes,
That was fun.
that's fun. That's fun. All right. Well, anything else we want to bring up before we wrap it up?
that's it, guys.
All right.
It's like you guys
Well,
have fun, and I guess
yeah.
next week we'll have Dan back, right?
No, there's no show next week.
Oh, there's no show next week.
No
Yeah.
show next week. Daniel is going to be out of town. I'm going to be
you're-
at the Grand Rapids Comic-Con.
So you're doing your dad's birthday next week, or
Yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
Okay. So that's
Yeah, so it's just 1 week, then I'll be
Okay.
back. Yeah.
so we'll have to
Tell-
do 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, so we'll do 2 when I get back. So
Okay.
So tell Papa Reyes that everybody at Trekcast says happy birthday.
yeah, yeah,
Birthday.
I will. I
Big
will for
70.
sure.
That's a big number. So.
That's a big number, so it's important to go celebrate that. So
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, so I'll
Oh,
get
yeah.
some pretty great burritos and barbacoa. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Everyone's
that
on our way,
barbacoa.
Mr.
Is that the dish that you cook in the ground?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically the closest equivalent is like Mexican pot roast.
Okay.
It's there's easier ways to make it now. I make a version of it just in a crock pot.
Oh, okay.
Because like to do it traditionally, like takes a really long time and a lot of work. And
But you know what I'm like? I'm
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
making
yeah,
that up, right?
no.
Okay.
But the way I do my barbacoa, like it's just assembly in the crock pot and let it go, and just 10 hours later it's ready to rock, and it tastes pretty much the same. So
What
Really?
spices?
some chili peppers and adobo. Yeah,
No.
I'll send you guys my list.
I was just gonna say, would you be
Absolutely.
willing to send us a recipe?
Yeah, I'll send you a recipe.
Or maybe
It's very
post it on
easy.
the. Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
I'll
post it on the
in
Facebook.
group. I'll post it.
That'd be
It's
great.
It's very easy to do. Like
Yeah.
and it's so good.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
down.
it's a little spicy, but it's good.
That's all right. I like spicy.
Okay, all right.
It-
I'll post it
but
in the
my
group,
my
so-
family doesn't, so
Well-
I have it all to myself.
So if you're listening to this and you want my barbacoa recipe, join our Facebook group.
Absolutely.
Trekcast, and you'll see it there.
Do you
So-
guys make tamales too, or?
Yeah, but tamales is more like a Christmas thing because it takes so much work.
Yeah, we did
Um,
that one year for Christmas. and,
Yeah,
oh my gosh, I didn't realize how hard.
yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
It's yeah,
It's so good though.
Hey, well, Foodcast. Yeah.
I was
Yes,
like,
Foodcast.
after making tamales, I understand why they charge so much for tamales.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it is work.
I'm
Okay, to
hoping
bring it
some
back to
locals-
Star
yeah.
Trek, I've actually made a couple of Star Trek dishes. I've made Hasperat, the Bajoran.
What is it? Yeah.
It's basically think of it like pinwheels, or it's basically you take some meat and some like watercress or something spicy and you wrap it up in a thin tortilla.
Oh, okay.
At least that was my human Earth version.
Right.
But whatever spiciness. So
Have you made canar with the Karo syrup and what they put food coloring in there? So when they
right.
make
No, I
canar,
haven't.
like,
But
they
I've
always said
got
it's
the.
disgusting.
I bought the Star Trek cookbook.
Oh, nice.
That's co-written by Ethan Phillips. I bought that at the Star Trek Experience back in like 2000. So I've made a few things.
Oh, nice.
It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
So, yeah. Maybe we should do a show where we do different dishes, like Star Trek dishes.
Oh, yeah. We should do that after we're done with Lower Decks.
Okay.
We'll need show ideas.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to write that down as a show idea.
yeah.
Put it on the board.
Cast.
Yeah.
Foodcast.
What we should do is since you got the book, we'll have you send us recipes, like one to me, one to Dan.
Yeah.
And we'll try making them, and then we can review what it was like.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think you guys ought to do a Great British Bake Off where you're all lined
the Galaxy's Best Bake Off.
Yes.
There we go.
Best Bake Off.
Yeah.
Where you all make it, and then somebody's got to taste it, and then everybody's
Hey, Wolf's like, do it.
do it.
Okay, we can do it. Let's. I wrote it. I wrote it down. So.
All right. The Galaxy's Best Bake Off. We'll do it.
Absolutely.
Well, on that note, we should probably be wrapping it up.
All right. Thanks, Chazbiz.
Yeah.
right.
Thank you so much, Chazbiz. Oh, jeez, I cut him off. Oh. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, let's remind everybody to check out the Facebook group, Instagram, our YouTube channel, and we're on TikTok too, right?
We are on TikTok, yes.
And email us, trekcasttng@gmail.com. And if you want to send all your complaints, if you have nothing but compliments, send those to strongbeard1701@gmail.com. And our phone number, if you want to send us a voicemail, we'll play it on the show. It's 570-661-0001. That's 570-661-0001. We'll play it on the show, and nobody's going to answer the phone. It's just going to go straight to voicemail. So if you want to,
it's a Google Voice number. So
yep, check it out, and be sure to go over to trekcast.com. You got all of our bios, and you got some Star Trek merch. We've got some great T-shirts from Chop Tees.
That's right.
I've got one, and it's great. So check it out. It's a good way to support the show.
Absolutely. Well, thanks everybody for listening, and we will catch you back in about 2 weeks.
And I'll check out the Facebook group. I'll be posting stuff next week from the Grand Rapids Comic-Con.
Nice. All right. See you later. Bye.
See ya.
This is Captain Benjamin Sisko of Deep Space Nine and Space God to the Bajorans. I have a mission for you. This falls outside of Starfleet guidelines, so I can't order you, but I'm asking for volunteers. Volunteers who will subscribe to the Trekcast YouTube channel, leave 5-star reviews on your podcast app of choice, and share Trekcast across your social media accounts. If we can make our audience bigger, we might have a chance against the Dominion. Are you ready? Subscribe, like, and share. Are you with me?